Hi, and welcome to the third installment of our Paradigm Prototype Tour. I'm Joe Webb, and for this video, I'm actually going to be showing you multiple parts of the platform all at once to kind of give you a sense of how the workflow comes together in Paradigm. Let's get started. All right, so here we are back at the home screen, and we have just checked task. And in task, we saw that we need to do our reading. We also have to tweet to edu6323 about RSS and LMS. We have to post to the discussion board about memory and attention. And then we need to build a paradigm object for hashtag memory. So we can accomplish all of these tasks in a nice, easy flow by using Paradigm to guide us from task to task. So let's get started with the reading. Okay, let's go right on into where we left off in source. Now, source is really cool. I like it because you can highlight and use it like a normal text. I actually use a stylus on a Surface Book Pro, which allows me to basically treat my laptop like a normal textbook, which is good for those of us who like that tactile aspect. It's also capable of playing an audio version of the text. So what that means is if you're in the middle of reading and then you have to go on your commute to work and you want to listen on the way, you can just hit play wherever you left off. Obviously, all of Paradigm is also compatible on your phone, so I just use my phone and will listen to the chapter as I'm driving into work, and then I can listen to it again on my way home. You can pick from different customized speakers, and they actually have a really impressive reading voice. David is my favorite. I think he sounds like Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek The Next Generation. You can even adjust speed so that you can listen to it more quickly. So I want to show you a few of the cool features here. First of all, this is, you can just click on the table of contents here and skip to whatever part that you need to, just like any typical reader, and you can click right up here.
Chapter 5, Memory.
And there he is, Patrick Stewart himself.
Not the sole aim
Let's turn the volume down a bit.
Understanding memory is also hard because in some ways it goes against.
So what I like about this voice, in addition to the fact that it's makes it easy to read along with, it has really good inflection, which you don't always find on these desktop readers. I'm going to make a highlight here to just show you how the highlighter function works.
Of the traditional concept of college instruction, where educational impact is measured by seat time spent viewing lectures.
So if you listen to his voice, I'm going to let you listen for a second. You can hear that he really has an inflection that helps make sense of the reading, which makes it really easy to listen to.
Try it now. Take a piece of scratch paper and from memory, scratch out something that you've seen thousands of times in your life. The front and back of a penny.
See, so the way that inflection just kind of came together is huge. Also, you can click on any of these words and it will open right up to a definition. So the whole text is interactive. It brings the text to life. It helps you get through a dense or difficult to understand type of thing. And you can select from all your different textbooks using this drop-down menu here. So you can see we have Minds Online selected right now. And if I was not doing this video, I would take my time, I would read through this. As I highlight different things, you can see on the notes section on the right hand, all of my highlighted items get added to the list, and there's a citation down here that tells me exactly where I got them from. Now, I've only chosen to include the yellow and blue highlights. As you can see, I could select the pink highlights or the orange highlights as well. and that would just fill this in with more detail. But I like to use pink and orange just for referring back to the text at large. These are more specifically for things that I want to add into my notes. And if you add highlights here, you'll see on the right hand side it automatically populates right here with what it is that you just highlighted, and it all is being recorded and added into POV. This is the POV icon. If you click it, it takes you to POV, and this whole section of Minds Online is being recorded in POV under the hashtag memory. So basically this note section here is where I can summarize the chapter, keep track of the most important ideas, highlight quotes that I want to refer back to. For example, if I'm going to go to the discussion board post later, and basically I'll have it all right at my fingertips through Paradigm. And anything that I add to this is also public to any of my friends through the Gather app. So any other students who are online right now can access my notes. I can change permissions, so only certain people can see certain things, all that good stuff. But this is what you're going to see as we go through each part of Paradigm. Is there's always this POV icon kind of there to allow you to start with the source material, absorb something from the source material, and then create your own version of it, create your own curation of that information, so that you can refer back to it easily without having to flip through the text, and it's super cool. There are tons more features that I want to show you here on this portion of Paradigm, the source portion, but I'm trying to show you how the workflow all comes together. So let's imagine that I found an interesting quote here that I want to tweet. If you look under here, underneath the icon for Gather, you can see all of our different social media apps that are incorporated into my Paradigm. I can either click on one of these, I could start a new tweet, I could open Gmail, I could go straight to the discussion board, or I can click here. And when I click here, the quote that I just obtained can easily be posted into a tweet. Now, let's take a quick look at this page here. We are now in source. You can see where we are according to the upper left-hand corner. That icon tells us exactly where we are. Now, I have a lot open right now, so it might be a little bit overwhelming. So let's slow things down and take a careful look. All right, so up top here we can see that I have my class selected. This is the group that I've chosen to look at, and it's the group name is EDU6323. That's the name of our course number. And if you look over here, this drop-down list of people are the six people who are active online right now. So if I wanted to communicate with them via chat, I could just click on one of them and it will open up a chat, and I could speak to them directly. I could also do a video chat with this. That's another option. And it's actually kind of cool because when someone's online, you can actually kind of get to know them and chat face to face. So this group will change if I were to change to a different group. But this group is also pertinent to Facebook and to Twitter because we have an EDU hashtag, EDU6323, and we have a group, Northeastern EDU6323. So right now I had Facebook open before, which is why this is kind of offset into the back. I have Twitter open right now, and then here are the other social media apps that are connected to my profile. So say for example I wanted to leave this window from Twitter and check out the discussion board. I can just click right here, and now you can see the Twitter page has sort of retreated to the background here, and the discussion boards come right up. Now you can make this full screen and get rid of what's in the background, but I'm just trying to show you how you can arrange these windows to be looking at a couple of these different social media objects at the same time. It makes it really easy to copy and paste a quote from a tweet into a discussion board post, or it makes it easy to use Facebook and commentary that's going on there to communicate without having to open and close and swap windows and all those kinds of things. But the real cool thing about this is anything that you are aggregating or commenting on here is being recorded under the hashtag of memory that you set up with your POV in Paradigm. So again, we have this window here. I'm going to move my video out of the way. So you can see over here, this is essentially a feed that is combining my hashtag memory with the hashtag memory for all of my fellow students. So obviously a couple people have found some cool YouTube videos. We have an article here that's been bookmarked, and it's got these hashtags associated with it. We have a web page here. Here's Minds Online, which is actually the book where we were before. So our notes, my notes and the notes of all of these students are here to be accessed if we would like to do that. And you're going to see how this all comes together in Paradigm pretty soon. All right, so let's see. Let's take a look at one of these posts. It's going to be something interesting here. Okay, so look, Emily N, or Emmeline, has posted here when hashtag gamification goes wrong, and then there is an article linked here. So I'm going to click right on the article. And as you can see, it opens up directly in my source page. And this will also show you a little bit of the web browsing capability of Source. So I can use the text-to-voice function here, and I can have David read to me if I wanted to go tie my shoe or have a read-along as I was scrolling through the article, checking out different aspects. I could also have it play for me while I took notes. You can see automatically populated over here under the POV icon is the title of the article, who it's by, and it also shows me right here that Emily Lynn was the one who shared that link and that she shared it with me via Twitter. So what that means is Paradigm is keeping track of who posted what, not only who the author is, but which one of my friends shared it. And Emily Lynn is actually getting credit because I decided to follow this link. That says that she posted something of interest to me. And I can rate this article. If I rate this article, it also improves her rating. So basically, the social part of Paradigm here is not just about getting the opportunity to discuss and share, but it's also building online reputation with your peers and developing sort of credibility as somebody who can find interesting information. And the more you find and the better quality of the stuff that you find, the better your reputation and your rating is going to be. So let's go back to task for a minute and just check out what we've got to do. So we have to tweet. We also have to post to discussion board. So let's take a look at the discussion board for a second, see what that looks like. All right. So here's our discussion board. This orange icon represents that. Like I said, we could make this full screen, but for the purposes of this prototype, I'm just going to show this preview version here. And you can see sort of the basics that you would find in any discussion board. We've got the forum name, we've got the title of the discussion, and then over here we have this join the conversation. You actually have a number of different ways that you can get involved. So different instructors are different, but Professor Watwood is actually pretty flexible. And what you can choose from here is you can write a post, sort of typical Word document, although it's a rich text format, so you can drop in pictures and links. You can actually make it collapsible the way that a Wikipedia article is collapsible, and you can use those sort of side arrows to make sections of what you're writing shorter. And my gosh, I can't even tell you how much more readable that makes some of these posts. I don't know if you're like me, but I tend to be long-winded. And if I can basically give my audience the major bullet points, then if they want to delve into the depth, if they want to argue with me about a point, then they're going to want to see everything that I had to say about that section. But when you've got a lot of posts to navigate and you've got a whole bunch of different people, you're going to get a lot of repetition, a lot of people saying the same exact thing. You're going to have a hard time following the discussion if there's just overwhelming amounts of text. So this discussion board is awesome. It's so much better than what we were doing on Blackboard because it just allows you to keep what you're writing readable without having to sacrifice how much you want to write, how much depth and insight you want to share. It kind of balances the best of both worlds and allows students to get in on the conversation. And it also allows you over here, you can see a couple of students who recommended Kirk's post because they liked it. So again, that's contributing to Kirk's reputation and his overall score. And it's also contributing to me as a viewer who's seeing, okay, this conversation looks interesting. It looks like we got a couple people who are interested. Or in the same sense, like I might see this one and see, okay, only one person seems to be liking this. Can I get in there? Can I help Megan out? Can I help her? Can I engage her in a discussion? And can we make this a little bit better? So you can also see how many people have responded, and this tells you which ones I have or have not read yet. And then this is a cool part that's a special feature of this discussion board, which is we have tags. These tags have been added possibly by the original poster, but also by the people who have responded and viewed this post. And there's an incentive built in for Kirk to tag his own post to make it easier to identify what the content is. There's also an incentive for all the rest of us classmates as we're reading it to tag it to, again, make it easier to identify the content of this article. So looking at this, I can see his article talks about memory, attention, and he has this quote, "Identity is nobody's business but ours." That already seems interesting. I want to read it. And our collaboration here is making our TL rating higher. TL is just an abbreviation that means thought leader, and it's kind of the currency of all of Paradigm. Your grade is one thing, but then you're trying to develop a TL score over not just this one course, but all of the courses, all of your searching, which you can do, all of the social media that you do here. Ultimately, you're always learning something, even if you're just watching a YouTube video, or even if you're just checking out an interesting New York Times article, right? So Paradigm is bringing in your academic and your social and all of your interactions on the web, and you're accumulating this reputation, this TL score. We're going to go more into the TL rating when we get to POV, but this is kind of how we build an incentive into an online course like this, where on the one hand, in sort of the old model, you could skim the reading, you could kind of fake your way through the conversation, but this is really motivating you to get engaged and to really tear into the text and then show that you've been doing that by making accurate tags. And again, the accuracy of your tags, the compatibility of your tags with what other people are picking up from the reading, all of that is calculated by Paradigm. And so the more real your encounter with the work, the more of a reward you're going to get. So that I kind of got a little away from the rest of these functions. So let me go back to this for a second. You can make this written post. You can do an audio post. You can do a video post. And this is actually, you can either annotate live or highlight live with your stylus, or one student actually used this program here. I think it's called Pen. I've never used it, to create these animations. And Professor Watwood, he was in a different class, but this student, his animations were on Professor Watwood's POV, and so we were checking those out, and they were really interesting and cool, and kind of showed some of the concepts of memory and attention that we've been learning about in this unit. So anyway, there are all these different ways to express yourself, and some of these are really good. If you want to have your intonation heard by your fellow students, but you don't want to be on camera, you can use the audio. And then here's where the tagging comes back in. So if you typically encounter an audio or a video file online, a YouTube video, whatever the case may be, to know what the content is, you actually have to watch it. So if you are looking for a particular quote, or you're backtracking, you have to scroll around, you have to try and find it. When you are listening to audio or watching a video posted here on the discussion board by one of your peers, you can tag it in real time, and then a timestamp gets added onto that tag. So if I clicked on LMS here, this would take me to the moment in Megan's audio post here where she was talking about LMS, and one of the students identified that and tagged it. That means that this previously unsearchable audio file is now enriched by this metadata that is showing us exactly what's in there and where it is and how to find it. So this is going to kind of revolutionize how audio files and video recordings become searchable through Paradigm, which is really one of the awesome features here. And all of this tagging, all of this is going into POV. So this is our group POV. Like I said before, everything that we're doing here, every tweet, every Facebook post that's related to our group, that's tagged with hashtag memory, is accumulating in this one list where we can see it all together. But the next step that we're going to do is we're going to move into POV here. This is my POV profile. And here is the TL rating that I have accumulated. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about this in our next video. But I just wanted to kind of give you a preview here of where all of this work that we're doing, all of this curation, all of this tagging, all of the note-taking that we're doing, it's all working toward this final product. We're going to create learning objects. We're going to create each of these tags and each of these things, videos, articles that we're accumulating, they're called assets. So you can see my assets here. And we kind of bake these assets together around these core central ideas called learning objects. And that's what I'm going to go into in my next video. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our POV tour, and leave your comments in the space below.